If you're a business owner, you know that implementing AI agents is going to give you tremendous leverage, and you are willing to put time that you don't really have aside, energy and resources into expediting the process. This video is for you. I was on a call earlier today with the CEO/president of a company, and we are implementing AI agents into his company. We get on the Zoom. And one of the first things that we attempted to do was to install Claude Code. Usually, I would not start with Claude Code. I would start with Codex. He wanted to start with Claude because he had heard of it and he hadn't really used it. Up until that point, he had really only been a super ChatGPT user. He heard that Claude was amazing. He started using Claude in chat, which is obviously not going to give him agentic capabilities. One of the first things that we go to do is to install Claude Code. Right off the bat, we are stopped. We are stopped by his IT company. There is no admin override. This is the IT company that he is paying, by the way. He calls them, gets on the phone with them. They try to forward it to a support ticket. He's like, I'm not getting off the line. I'm the president and CEO of this company. Da, da, da. They eventually approve what we were trying to download, which again is nothing out of this world. It's just Claude Code. We proceed with the process. We bypass his permissions in Claude so that it could truly act agentically. We give it a few initial prompts to audit his computer and the storage capacity of his computer, because just within the first few prompts, his computer starts significantly slowing down. And this is when we found the second problem. His computer only has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is definitely not what you want on a computer or a laptop specifically that you are going to have Claude Code or Codex running on. Then we go to download Codex. Codex is downloaded. The first thing that you'll see when you do so is a black button that says Set Up Sandbox. He goes to click that. The IT company stops us again. Luckily, Codex was able to circumvent that and set up a backup sandbox. But when we went to the plugins within Codex, so when he went to connect Microsoft Outlook and the calendar and GitHub and the core things that we needed to connect Codex to so Codex can start to run prompts that I have prepared for him, we were stopped. Why? Because the script or the path that Codex uses for someone to log in, the IT company was blocking. So how you do this in Codex is you go to the plugins, you click the plus sign, it says install Outlook calendar or install Outlook email or install GitHub, whatever of the plugins that you're trying to gain access to. You click install, and then what's supposed to happen is a browser is supposed to open, you log in. You're giving it authorization from the point that you log in for the plugin to give Codex access to that environment. This is critical because without giving it access to the calendar, to the email, to GitHub, to core things, HubSpot related to his business, the agent doesn't have access to the core environments that it needs for core tasks that he wants to start with. And they wouldn't approve it. He has to call, get on the phone. Finally, what he asked them was, is there a way for you to, at least while we're doing this, put me on a different security level because we are on a live implementation call now. They said that they would. We met again today and we were going through the same nightmare. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because most CEOs, or why a lot of the small business owners, are not implementing AI agents and Codex the way they should really comes down to 3 things. Number 1, trying to force AI agents into an infrastructure built for humans. The IT infrastructure that he has right now for his company, the outsourced IT company that he pays, flagged anything within the PowerShell or anything coding related as, oh no, it needs to be blocked. There needs to be super administrative approval for this company, which I think is just absolute insanity, because if you're an IT company now and you don't have some type of agentic support or infrastructure for businesses that are rethinking their future to be agentically supported, then you're just behind the times. Instead of them saying, oh, we have an agent level support that does X, Y, and Z, like they could have sold them right then and there had they had the offer ready. But because they're not anticipating the changes in the market, they don't have the offer, and they're actually so outdated that it's embarrassing. What your business looks like today may be very different And you will have to go through the gritty process of realizing what those things are that will limit building a business with agents in mind. So immediately, just in this case, he is going to fire that IT company. He is going to get a new IT company that is up to the times. And there will be different permissions required for safe agents to run, but he wants every single employee in his company to have at least one agent within the next 6 months that they are managing and that they are leveraging. And a lot of what will slow things down is things like that you may not anticipate. The other thing is the computer. To help you with that, there is a prompt that you can find in the description, in the blog post, that you can give to Codex or Claude Code. And guess what? It will audit the hardware of the computer that you are currently working on. Force yourself to use either Codex or Claude Code and get rid of everything else. Stop going to ChatGPT, force yourself to go to Codex. If your computer is not up to par, if you're on 8 gigabytes of RAM, yes, everything is going to slow down like a turtle when you have both Codex and Claude Code and those types of things running. But more especially when you have multiple agents running, even within those environments. Long story short, put the prompt into the AI that you use and get the computer that you need to get, because if not, the cost of slowdown is going to be so great, you would have wished you would have gotten a new computer anyway. The third question, or the third thing, really becomes, why would a CEO sit down and go through this monotonous process? And what I have found with the 10 plus businesses that I've helped implement AI agents in is that the businesses where the CEO goes first move the fastest. And it's the only way that I'll implement AI in a business. The reason is because the CEO doesn't really understand what they're missing out on. Unless they literally put in 6 to 8 hours of seeing the boring stuff and seeing what's possible before their eyes and going through the challenges like this of, oh, wow, I need a new IT company, or, oh, wow, are the computers up to par? Are we prepared for this? What are the new IT policies going to be? They don't really understand what is limiting or slowing down their business, because the way it's currently set up to be is designed for humans. If you are a business owner, a CEO, just go into AI implementation with the understanding that the first 8 to 10 hours are going to be HE double hockey stick on earth. It's going to be boring, it's going to be hard, it's going to be monotonous, it's going to be challenging, it's going to be frustrating. But once you get through that first 8 to 10 hours of implementation, you can move so much faster than anyone. You will be so far ahead of your competitors that it's not even funny. Because then once your systems and everything are set up, that's when it can get fun. Because that's when certain principles or certain parts of that system can then be multiplied throughout every single team member within your company. That's when you get to the point where you have a daily activity log of what every single agent has done today to the millisecond, because they are reporting themselves. When you have that type of reporting, you can get real-time progress on projects. If his agents that he is using in Codex and Claude Code, every single thing that they do goes into an activity log, and then every single other team member's agent does the same thing, report what project they've touched, the progress, the this, the that, the pending items, you get real-time insight into the business. But that is only possible when the CEO goes first. When the CEO sees what's possible, they're that much more likely to implement policies into the business and say, hey, no more ChatGPT. We're only using Codex. We're only using Claude Code, because if you're in ChatGPT and you're doing these things, we can't learn from the insights of how we're moving together as a team. That's just the first step, because then the next level is proactive analysis based on the real-time insights. And it does take time. It takes going through the frustration. It takes really rethinking the future of your business entirely in the current infrastructure. Because, again, taking the IT company into example, they better rethink their offers. And they're not the only ones that really don't see what's coming within the next 18 to 24 months. I'll leave you with this question. If every single one of your top clients and prospects are using at least one super agent in Codex or Claude Code within the next 18 to 24 months, what services and offerings of yours decrease in value, and what are you going to do about it? How are you going to anticipate that market change? That IT company could have had the offer waiting, anticipated the market change, because they didn't, because they are still serving businesses only built for humans and by humans. They just lost a huge customer, and someone else will grab the opportunity.